second stage.
Here it is, Castlevania Dracula X. I bought this game back in September 1995. I was really excited when this game came out. I remember when Super Nintendo first came out. In the first year of its release, it had a lot of classic titles, and among those my favorites were Super Mario World and Super Castlevania 4. So in September 1995, I don't know if you remember, both Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island and Castlevania Dracula X were released. And I bought both those games on the same day, and I remember playing both of them. And I remember Super Mario World 2 being a really different and exciting experience, and the graphics being really amazing, and the music being something that I've never even heard on a 16-bit system. And then I remember Castlevania Dracula X being really horrible and not controlling well and not having the excitement or the wow factor of Super Castlevania 4 and generally sucking. And this review is about my frustration. I'm sure you have frustration with the game. It was based off Castlevania Rondo of Blood. It was a title for the PC Engine. Which is ranked one of the best platformers that year in Japan. And it had a lot of promise. And when it came over here, it didn't have two playable characters. It didn't have branching story paths. Or it did, but not really as well executed as Castlevania Rondo of Blood. And for those of us who never even played Rondo of Blood, we already knew this was a horrible game. So here's my breakdown of Stage 1 and why it's good and why it's bad and how it compares to Super Castlevania 4, because at that time that was our frame of reference and we wanted something that was better than that, and they gave us something that was worse. Screw you, Konami. Screw you. So even though the box art is okay, the first thing I looked at was the booklet. Remember, I worship this game. And the first thing I noticed in the booklet was Dracula. Motherfucker looks like David Bowie. Here's where I start to notice the animated look and feel of the game. But that's okay. It looks like the characters have emotion and that a character-driven story would unfold, something we haven't seen since Castlevania 3. Stages look pretty generic, not as exciting as Super Castlevania 4. 7 stages?
What?
That's it? And stage 7 just says Count Dracula. That doesn't sound like a stage, that sounds like a boss fight. Like in Super Castlevania 4, where if you died at Dracula, you continued at Dracula, and you can even input a code that got you right up to Dracula. So, to me, that sounds like 6 stages plus Count Dracula. It's actually not true. Count Dracula is the final stage, but why don't they just say Count Dracula's part of the castle, or the inner sanctum, or something? Screw you, Konami. Now look at the enemies. More anime. Still well drawn. Wait a second. Minotaurusu? Liepustan? Just say Minotaur and Werewolf. Screw you, Konami.
Time to go mobile.
Okay, here's where I state my gripe about the whole booklet in general. We didn't get Rondo of Blood. We got a butchered port. But they put in artwork directly tied with Rondo of Blood. If you take a look at the Japanese booklet, you'll see that they created entirely new artwork, which kind of made it look like Konami was trying to rub it in our faces even more. Here you go, this is not Rondo of Blood, but we're going to show you artwork from Rondo of Blood. And if you wonder about Europe, they got the same artwork as the Japanese manual. Screw you, Konami. These pictures are way more in line with the aesthetic that North America was ready to accept at that time. 1995 was a little bit too early for anime. Remember, Street Fighter Alpha seemed underwhelming compared to Super Street Fighter 2. And I don't think anime hit mainstream until like 97. At least not with the nerds. There was Sailor Moon, but that didn't really count. That was a kid's show. Here we have this artwork that could have been incorporated into the North American version, and it's just not there. Also, can you take a look at how the stages are arranged in the Japanese manual? The Japanese manuals are always better. More pages, more care, usually full color. They're just awesome. Okay, so we already showed the intro earlier. I'm just going to skip the introduction and get right to it. And here we have a map of Castle Dracula. Looks pretty generic. Not as exciting as Super Castlevania 4 with the Mode 7 zooming. Remember that? That was awesome. And here we go. Whoa, cool fire effects. Man, this disco music is corny. What's with this? What is with these slow deformed skeletons? Here's another gripe I have with Castlevania Dracula X. They're actually ape skeletons who can throw barrels. It's a throwback to Donkey Kong. Here's where it's evident in Castlevania Rondo of Blood. But you wouldn't know that because they don't do anything but lumber along slowly. Here's where I'll also add that in the Rondo of Blood version, you're actually visiting a town from Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. You know that by looking at the town name in Rondo of Blood. This is completely absent from Castlevania Dracula X. It's a random town and there's no tie-in to the lore of Castlevania, which is a huge bummer, which totally sucks. Screw you, Konami. Wow, the bats look amazing. Same with the skeleton dragons. What? Jeez, the Medusa heads in Super Castlevania 4 exploded into a bunch of snakes. Whoa, did you see that? Wait, let's watch it again. That's cheap. Just popping in a mini boss and not caring? Here's where we go to Rondo of Blood. Check it out. This Minotaur doesn't appear to the second stage. And they actually build up real tension by having him smash through the wall. What do they do in the Super Nintendo version? Just make him appear awkwardly, like he pops into the screen, like it's an error, like he was added in at the last minute. Screw you, Konami. Whoa, did you see that? I totally own that dude with a barrage of knives. Cost me 10 hearts, but it was worth it. This is a unique feature to Castlevania Dracula X, which I'm going to get into on another episode, but it's amazing. Each weapon has an item crash feature that totally rocks. I like how the music and the background colors change. It's like the game is building up to a boss fight. This is another unique feature to Castlevania Dracula X. In Super Castlevania 4, they build tension on the boss screen itself. An example would be when you fight the Orphic Vipers and the area floods with water before they appear. It makes you feel like, whoa, you weren't expecting it. Castlevania Rondo of Blood took it to the next level by having separate rooms prior to a boss fight that loaded you up with weapons and let you know that something was gonna happen. It built a lot of tension, and the music was usually different. Check out the tune. Totally creepy. So I'm glad it was incorporated into Castlevania Dracula X. Here we go. Wait, did I hear a cat roar? What kind of a lame boss is this? Oh, I see, it's a Cerberus, which is supposed to be a dog. Screw you, Konami.